It's about the power of sharing ourselves, first with ourselves and with others. You will see in the book that I start off with the story of growing up. And amongst us today are two of my sons. Dobeko there in the ESCOM head. He's calling for all of us to make ESCOM great again. And Sheikani there, right at the bench there. That's my firstborn son. And Kumi sitting over here has become the loving father in their lives and the love of my own life. But they don't know this Louisa who is standing here before you, talking to you about embarrassing things, talking to you about things that may be primarily regarded as things of weakness, things of flaw, things of helplessness, lack of knowledge, things of vulnerability. They don't know that Louisa for long. They probably have seen her come out maybe from the month of October, November of 2022. So I would like to ground our discussions in that space where the gift of living life fully probably starts giving itself to us when we see that we are actually not alone. We're never meant to be alone. We are not disconnected from each other. We never were, but that's a delusion that we have created for ourselves. And we are never ever expected to be anything other than what we present ourselves to be right at the moment when we present ourselves. If each one of us were to be able to see that and to lean on that, we probably would have a world which is much more caring, much more loving, much more intelligent and wise. But because I have been wrapped up in the stories of what I must present myself to be in order to be of significance to my father, in order to be embraced and loved by my father, I have completely skewed my own purpose in life, and as a result, I have continued to damage everything that I have come into contact with because I have not touched it with my true self. For me, this is the conversation that young people have got to be brought into in order for them to feel that us older people are beginning to listen to the exaltation that Ricardo left for us. Ricky Rick, 8 days before his passing, wrote on Twitter and said to all of us, please believe in young people. Give them as many opportunities as they need to prove themselves at any cost. Now that's a big ask. One may even say it's impossible to do those things. Of course it's impossible with our frame of life right now, with the structure of mind that we have about what life is and what is meaningful in life. But when we suddenly look at our ourselves and look at our true being, we actually know that we actually can give young people everything that they need by actually getting ourselves out of the way and centering these ideas of love is the ultimate reality, and centering that in everything that we are about. In the home, in the family, in relating. As the young one in the family does the most unbearable error that angers me to the core, if I just find out to myself, what does love call for in these circumstances? Of course, love calls for me not to condone the wrongful act, but love also calls for me to look at my son or my daughter and say, what is happening? Where did it come from? What is happening with your soul? How can I be a presence that is healing to you? If the language of inquiry about each other is deeply, what's happening with you? So that my greeting, how are you, is no longer a flippant habit. It's an engaging moment. It's an opportunity for us to contribute to the healing of the world, to the healing of our histories, to the healing of our cultures, to the healing of our erasure, to women, all the healing of all the violence that we experience in peculiar ways as human beings. We're experiencing it at home, we experience it at work, we experience it in all the public environments that we engage in, even when it's silent, but we experience it. The book talks about the uncovering of a memory which had to do with sexual violence. And it's not easy for a person to journey through life after an experience of such violence. And so for me, the grace of having a family that suffered from all the protection, and I use that word in its expansive sense, because when I